Volkswagen are launching two versions of the new Tayron in Ireland, so I can't review two cars at once. I needed some help from a little friend.
And I like Diesel.
And yes, he still likes Diesel. Welcome back to the channel, Bob Flavin. Or if you're watching this on Bob's own channel.
Yeah, welcome to my channel, Mark.
Yes, thank you. I'm humbled to be here.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to want to know, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I got a relative odd here yesterday.
Right.
But my speech is still impaired.
Okay.
Might not be sick for a year or so. But I'm back to kind of normal, I suppose.
Okay.
Or, well, as normal as a constipated man.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We're also here today to look at the diesel version of the Tayron or the plug-in hybrid version of the Tayron.
Do you really need a diesel in 2025 in Ireland?
I can't believe you were saying that.
I know.
It must be really good if
Wait till we get to the prices.
There are some key differences, however. If you want a 7-seater Tayron in Ireland, you got to get a diesel. If you want a 5-seater, you got to get a plug-in hybrid.
I wonder, it must be batteries that you can't fit the seats in.
That's the reason. There just isn't enough space in the boot. And weirdly, despite this having batteries and yours not having batteries, because you have a 7-seater, 2 seats in the boot taking up some space, this actually has 35 litres more in total in the boot.
And it's not a small boot. It's 5 seats is 800 and what litres?
Your boot has 850 litres. This boot has 885 litres.
It doesn't look now. I don't know if you're doing that by liquid or squares or boxes or how. It doesn't look 850 litres to me.
Let's have a closer look at Bob's TDI boot first.
So if you see the size of the boot, there is space under here for the tonneau cover, which fits in here out of the way, so you don't have to dump it anywhere. And there's tons of room under this again. Putting up the seats is fairly straightforward. Hold on. I'm not sure if you use it as a 7-seat to kind of pinch and spoon every day. There's not a ton of room. It's not a full-size 7-seat, but it certainly would work as an occasional 7-seater.
Meanwhile, the 5-seat plug-in hybrid, as we mentioned, actually has a bit more space, 35 litres extra. Down here is not as useful. Now, you do have this space for your Type 2 cable, but further under here then, that's where the battery is. So that's where you lose some of the depth. Don't think on your car, Bob, you have these little kind of brackets that sit on top of, I suppose, effectively the wheel arches and the shocks and all that stuff. So, a bit of a Skoda vibe off this. What I do like though about Bob's car is you can put the parcel shelf down below, and here you can still do it. There's a cutout here, but I just think you'll have to lift these bits out in order for that to be able to slot in properly. Pleased to report that both cars get 12 volt and lights and shopping hook holders and all those things that you built your channel on talking about.
Yeah, I know. The important stuff that was very modern tech a few years ago.
People want to know.
Yeah.
Another thing, so you're going to be getting kids and seats, and what's it like?
It has an enormous door, so it's easy to get in here, get right in between the chances.
That's what
you want, you know.
Yeah.
Chances. It also has a little curtain in the doorway.
Sun protection.
Massive room inside.
The 4Motion version in the TDI is not currently coming to Ireland.
It should be. We need it. We need it for the
The reason is the cost. VRT, we'll get into the difference between diesel and plug-in hybrid a little later on in the video. So towing capacity on the plug-in hybrid, which is a front-wheel drive, is 1,800. The maximum towing capacity on the new Tayron is 2.5 tonne, but on the diesel front-wheel drive, which yours is 2,000 kilos.
Yeah, it will make a difference. It will.
So there's 200 kilos between the plug-in hybrid and the front-wheel drive TDI, essentially. So I don't know. It's another reason for choosing.
This, to spare the fuck on it, is €10,000 more expensive.
So that's in VRT band 16 or something.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And this is the first one. This is €140 road tax because
this is 150 horsepower. You have 204?
204. These are both R-line cars. The wheels on yours are slightly different, but really interior which is very, very nice. I love the illumination of the dash,
Yeah.
the bits at
I
night
like the
time.
diesel dash. It's lovely, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And the screen is huge for people that aren't fans of these huge iPad-style screens, but
Sideways, but huge, yeah.
yeah, the resolution is lovely. This is the first time the badge has been illuminated in an internal combustion engine Volkswagen.
Can't listen either, you really can't.
No, and they look very well on the road.
This is a 2-litre diesel. Now, if you want a good, strong engine, well, a 2-litre diesel is going to be the one to go for, because the PHEV is only 1.5 petrol. So, you get a smaller engine in a very big car. This is the only way to get 7 seats. You can't get a 4-wheel drive. Built in Wolfsburg in Germany, it's solid as a rock. I do like the new screen. The sat-nav seems a bit old. The chances are you're probably use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto anyway, so there's a difference. This has wireless both roads and wired, wireless charging trays, and there's little touchscreens and things, very like the smaller system. I do like, there's no real downside. I just feel that because of the way our tax system works in Ireland, there are being certain changes on what we can have and not have when it comes to the modern SUV style car. So in this diesel you can expect to get 5.5 litres per 100 kilometres. That means you have a range of 800, 900, 1,000 kilometres on a tank of fuel. Yes, it will be more expensive to run this than running the other Tayron on electricity, but the other Tayron is petrol, which is more expensive at the pump. Maybe that's something to think about.
Another benefit of the plug-in hybrid over the TDI is dynamic chassis control. You can't get it in the diesel versions of the Tayron. Obviously, we've discussed you can fuel this for less. You can certainly charge it at home for way less. So if you whack on your home charger at a cheap rate, 25-ish kilowatt hour battery, you can genuinely charge this thing for about €2.50 and you'll get another few days out of the range. For years we spoke about how, you know, fuel efficient diesel was, and yeah, there's still an argument for it, but you can't really compete now with the range that is available in this car. The petrol is just more relaxing to drive, it's quieter, you can drive it in pure EV mode. There's lots of justification for it over the diesel, I think. It is key, however, that you charge this car all the time. Not every night, but you know, it constantly has energy in the battery. Otherwise, you're lugging around a heavier car, a depleted, heavier set of equipment in the boot, and that's just not the point of a plug-in hybrid. And I think with these longer range versions, and just as time goes by, people are more educated about charging their cars, so it shouldn't be a thing that's just lugging around an empty battery pack. This is also the car that VW want to kind of go a bit more upmarket with. For example, you can spec sound insulating glass, things that you wouldn't normally see on family VWs. They've also tweaked the gearboxes and the steering in these cars compared to the Tiguan. The Tiguan is getting that treatment, but this was getting it first because it was being built at the time. In some ways, there's overlapping even between the Tiguan and this car now, unless you go for the 7-seater, because you can't get the 7 in the Tiguan anymore. As the family car though, very comfortable, nicely put together, and loads of space inside.
Higher CO2,
Tell us.
lower CO2.
Yes.
So VRT on this ridiculously expensive. For this one, 2-litre diesel, €71,005, and your one is 60 grand.
Well, yeah, it'll get you the R line, which
Yeah.
you know looks pretty good. The other thing to bear in mind is the plug-in hybrid now has an almost 26 kilowatt hour battery. That car will do minimum 100 kilometers. The official range is about 130, and if you take it easy, you can do that.
If you live somewhere reasonably local and your commute was reasonably local, you might charge that twice a week.
Yeah.
And never use the petrol engine.
Very rarely. I've spoken to people who have these cars for a little bit longer, and they talk about putting petrol in the car every 2,000 kilometers if you charge the thing ridiculous.
If you're willing to put it in every
Yeah.
day or every second day.
Yeah. And it has 50 kilowatt DC charging, so you can actually use some of the faster chargers. But here's the bit where you tell us this does how many kilometers on a...
900 kilometers on one tank of fuel.
So there you go.
This month. And that's without even trying. That's just, I started it up. Whoever's driving before me is not. It'll probably be more than that again. But realistically, trying to buy a 2.5 diesel SUV
Yeah.
for 10,000 more than a PHEV,
Well,
it's hard to say.
the real reason, I suppose, in the specific case of the Tayron is because you might want 2 extra seats. Maybe, like, there's no panel in this car that is the same as the Tiguan, which is a slightly smaller car. But if you can get a 5-seater Tayron, why would you not just get a Tiguan? So it's kind of, there's a lot of duplication going on. Equally, if you want the extra seats and you want a little bit more towing capacity, then you're kind of forced into the diesel. But do you think with this kind of scenario, is diesel, I don't want to say dead, it's not dead, but in this type of car, probably
There's
is.
no, I don't think there's any reason for an ordinary civilian at home, family man, buying a car to buy a diesel anymore.
Yeah.
If you're looking at SUV now, and you're not looking at PHEV, I mean decent PHEV, or an estate, Skoda Superb estate, 1.5, plug-in hybrid,
Same thing.
absolutely massive range in it. Why would you buy a diesel?
Yeah.
There's no advantage to it. If you're a business and you're paying a VAT back, yeah, I get it then, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you're not self-employed, no point.
10 grand is a lot of money.
It's a
As you
kitchen.
say, it's a kitchen, it's a few
Yeah.
holidays.
It's an extension on your house, you know, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's 2 holidays a year for you and your family.
Yeah.
In one, just because you want diesel 17. There's no other advantage. 7 seats and slightly more towing is all you want. If you're not towing and you want a family car, why
Yeah.
not?
Just get rid of 2 of your kids.
Yeah, let them walk like the old days. Things were better in the old days.
Well, let us know what you think in the description down below. Comments, as usual, are always welcome. It's good to see you back, Bob.
I'm back, and I'm going to be back for the next one, so I'm back in the old channel, his channel, do some international stuff as well.
Everywhere. And you can probably still run faster than I can anyway.
I'm much lighter. If you want to lose weight rapidly, get cancer. Rapidly.
He didn't just say that.
No, I didn't.
See you next time.
You can't leave that in.